executive session, please.
Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. I know we have the questions that will
Look,
be
Mayor,
asked.
Mayor, I have to make a vote on the executive session.
Oh, my fault.
Does the board wish to take any action on the matter discussed on the executive session?
Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. Specifically, the questions were asked before the start of the meeting have to do with an item that's docket in tonight's activity. And as I'm reading this, that appears to be one, Catherine Gary, would you like to bring it up?
I had a question down near the bottom of the list regarding the state revolving fund. It seems like you were discussing or going to execute some documents regarding the state revolving fund. And it says it has to do with the water wells at Kennedy as well as Laurel Avenue. And I looked through some supporting documentation on the website, but I didn't see any. So I was questioning exactly what documents are you executing and what is this state revolving fund? What are you asking for? What are you requesting? Just in general, what it's about.
Correct. The item that we're asking for is only a signature page. It is where I would certify that on behalf of the village, I have the authority to apply for state funds.
So, did you already apply for the state funds?
No, I have to wait till the vote is in favor.
Are you saying you just had a signature page, but there must be a document that indicates what you're requesting funding for?
The item that we have is limited simply to my certifying that on behalf of the village of Hempstead, I have the authority to apply for state funds. The SRF State Revolving Fund document has no other backup other than the fact that there's a signature page that requires our signature to move forward.
Well, what state funds are you requesting?
Can I help out with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you may recall, last meeting, we spoke about the bonding on both the drilling of the water wells at Kennedy Park and for the air stripper that's going to be at Laurel Avenue. So one of the reasons why we did the bonding at that point in time is that we could not apply for state aid through the state revolving water fund until such time as we had agreed to do the work through the bonding. So first thing we have to do is approve the bonding. The next thing we do is now apply to the state to try to see if we can get funds from that state revolving fund. And when the treasurer was here last meeting 2 weeks ago, what he was trying to explain it to everybody was that in a lot of cases, the amount that the state gives us to the revolving fund actually goes from a loan, gets transferred over to a grant. So in this process, what we're trying to do is reduce the amount of this capital expenditure that the village residents are going to have to pay. So this is a necessary step in getting that money.
So am I correct that you're applying for state funds for the Kennedy Park water project?
There are two improvement plans. One is for Laurel Avenue improvement, and that's $2,567,618. And the other is the water wells at Kennedy Park. That's for $1,836,490.
Right now, the application, so you're putting in an application for the funding for these both projects. Right now, can we get a copy of the application so that we can see what you're applying for?
Moving forward, today's assignment is simply to get us to certify the signature page.
So it hasn't been written yet?
If it has been written, it's not, of course, my desk.
Okay, so it's in process?
I would not going to be able to answer that clearly.
Well, how can you apply for it if you don't have a
It's not as complicated as you're making it. What I'm doing here is asking for permission to give a signature so we can move forward in the process. And that's the limitation of this move.
So when do you think you'll have the application ready to submit?
I would not have a good answer for you that I can hold myself to. We have to wait further. This is the next step in the process.
Who's actually writing the funding request? Who's writing the funding request?
It's being done through through Ray and through Deborah.
Ray? How do you?
Ray Delane and Deborah and the resources that they have with Oldsmobile.
With who?
Oldsmobile.
Our water consultant.
Our water
engineer.
What is it? Okay, thank you.
We have another one that's been given to me that has to do with the docketed item. Patricia McNeil.
Hi, good evening. Can you give us more information about this grant and who's going to oversee it and what is it for?
Okay. The grant is to be overseen by the police department. It is something we traditionally apply for, the Edward Byrne Memorial, and each year it has a different purpose. Last year I think it was motorcycles. This year is to buy computers and to upgrade cameras. But the chief, perhaps you could add to that.
Oh, yeah, that's a grant we get every year. We use it to replace equipment. This year, we're going to use it to buy computers for the police cars, scanners that read your license plate, printers are going into police cars, and also to replace some of the desktop computers, some of the servers, and that sort of stuff.
So what does the village money pay for when we give money to the police department?
Now, this grant is in addition to what we do. It's for $34,909. It is a grant. It's in addition to what we have docketed in the budget.
So was that grant taken into consideration when we did the budget?
Absolutely. We apply for this every year.
Right. So the police department itself is just going to oversee it.
The police department oversees it.
When can we expect to get this grant? Well, we have it already, but we still have to work. We expect to have the information.
October 1, 2018.
Can we FOIL to find out what was purchased, the bottom line of what was purchased?
I believe it's oil.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we can move forward. The other questions are applicable to the end of the meeting with the open mic.
How would work agrees?
Please.
It's about the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I have one up here.
Help me out, please, Ryan, please. Which number are you referencing in your question?
My reference question is in regards to HCM architect engineering. On the document,
Yes, yeah, it's number 7.
number 7.
Yes.
Who oversaw in regards to us making the determination, do we pros and cons to us having a fueling station?
Number 8.
Did we determine, do we need a fueling station? And how is it, do we make a determination that people use a fueling station for personal use? We use our cars for personal uses. Who is overseeing that? How is it
Let's
overseen?
hold on with the personal use. They are village vehicles,
Right,
and it's geared in such a way it cannot be used except by a village vehicle.
but even our village vehicles go home, people use them all over. And what is the oversight in regards to the gas, how it's used? And how do we think about maybe getting an account with the gas station opposed to us paying to have a fueling station and paying for someone to do
We
this?
went through that, pluses and minuses, and came up with a decision that we have since voted on, and this is the method we're going.
Now, and also I asked a question about the special prosecutor. Why do we need a special prosecutor?
Now, we're off number 8.
Yeah, we also need
Which night, how many?
authorized by the board to appoint Joy Bunch, Esquire, for
Okay,
dean.
that's
It's item
the
17 and 18.
18, I believe.
17 and 18.
Item 18.
Yes,
That's at per diem basis.
yes.
It's $30 an hour, and the individual will be used for maybe 1.5 days a week as the court docket dictates.
Okay, when I see special prosecutor, it's something going on that we needed, that's why, so we need to explain that, because it didn't say that.
Okay.
So, if something's going on in the village we don't know about, I can read it that way. I've been detailed. So we say special prosecutor, we don't know. We just hired someone and she's having a baby. So is it a feeling for her? We don't know. So we need more details. Thank you.
Okay. But again, it is a special prosecutor on a per diem basis. They'll be working Wednesday, day and night, we have court, Tuesday, parking, no more than 1 or 2 days a week, and it's regarding the court docket as to whether that person is necessary and available.
Well, that should be spelled out in the current docket. That should be said.
Okay, thank you.
Proclamation recognizing Men's Health and Wellness Empowerment Day. Whereas the purpose of the Brown Bird Foundation, BetterMac, Quest Nutrition Networks, and AM Auto Consultants is to improve the quality of life for all people on Long Island, particularly those of African American heritage. The organization shall work to achieve 100% equality in all aspects of community life, including the elimination and discrimination, shall defend human and civil rights, and give assistance to members and their constituents in their honorable endeavors. And whereas there are 2 major components of the Brown Bird Foundations, the MAP, Quest Nutrition Networks, and I Am Auto Consultants Health and Wellness Mission. The first is to increase the public awareness regarding health issues that disproportionately affect the Black community. The second is to shape public policy regarding local, state, and national health policy impacting the Black community. And whereas the Brown Bird Foundation and founding editor of Better Magazine have formed a partnership and consortium to increasing the health disparity gap within the Nassau and Suffolk counties, to raising an awareness of health issues after the Men's Health and Wellness Empowerment Day here at the African American Museum in Hempstead. Whereas the goal of the Brown Bird Foundation, Better Mac, Quest Nutrition Networks, and I Am Auto Consulting is to improve the health and quality of their communities by promoting regular physical activity, improving nutrition habits through consumption of at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a week, avoiding tobacco use and alcohol abuse, establishing a relationship with a primary care provider, developing mentors and role models for healthy lifestyles and behaviors. And whereas I, Don Ryan, Mayor of the Village of Hempstead, hereby honor and acknowledge the hard work of the Brown Bird Foundation, Better Mac, Quest Nutrition Networks, and I Am Auto Consultants. Furthermore, I declare September 15, 2018 to be known as Men's Health and Wellness Empowerment Day throughout the Village of Hempstead, New York. Now we're moving to the presentations of activities. Fire department is here. Recreation and Parks.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mayor Ryan, Deputy Mayor Renfro, trustees Pettis, Johnson, and Daniels. The Parks and Recreation Commission's meeting was held Tuesday, August 28th at Kennedy Memorial Park from 6:30 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. In attendance were Commissioners Renee Cordova, Jeff Spencer, Randy Harrison, Lourdes Watts, Superintendent George Sanders, and Trustee Lamont Johnson. Commissioner Ricky Cook was excused. The meeting was called to order at 6:30 p.m. by the chairperson. There was a motion by the chairperson to accept the reading of the minutes from our meeting in July. The motion was seconded by Commissioner Spencer. The motion was carried. The commissioners reviewed 15 letters from the community requesting the use of the showmobile or the facilities at Hempstead Parks. 13 requests were approved by the commission. 2 requests were denied by the commission. I would like to take this moment to thank Hempstead Chief of Police Paul Johnson, Deputy Chief of Police Richard Holland, and 2 officers from the Community Policing Unit for attending the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting in August. The Commission and Superintendent George Sanders had the opportunity to inform them of our concerns regarding the safety and well-being of the Hempstead community and visitors to our parks. We appreciate your insight into how we can work together to try and solutions to these problems. The first step, which is communications, was accomplished. However, before I came to this meeting tonight, I left Barley Park. There was an incident on Sunday where there was some property damage. There was also some items stolen. When I left Barley Park, a Hempstead police officer was there reviewing the videotape. I don't know if you knew about that or if the board knew about that, but I'm just letting you know. And I don't know, I don't want to accuse anybody, but I know that they had a back to school giveaway or something at Barley Park on Sunday. And I don't know who authorized that, but it did not go through the park commission. I'm not saying anybody that attended it or that was a part of it was involved, but I don't know why the doors were open, because to my knowledge, nobody that worked for the parks opened the doors for that event or during that time. The mayor's annual senior picnic was Friday, August 24th at Kennedy Memorial Park from 12 to 4 p.m. The Parks and Recreation staff, the summer employees, and Superintendent George Sanders and everybody involved did an excellent job in organizing this event. The seniors enjoyed a family-style lunch, bingo, raffles, 50-50, dancing, and music provided by Chauncey Ned and his band. And of course, the highlight of the day for all the seniors was ice cream for Mr. Zorfi. All the seniors left with a smile and a beautiful Hempstead blue umbrella as a momentum of this day. What's new at Hempstead Parks, you ask? First of all, the repairs to the Lincoln Park basketball court is complete. It's a beautiful Hempstead blue. Before construction can begin on the skate plaza located at Kennedy Park, it's in process, but we have the two wells located on each side of the proposed plaza has to be replaced by Public Works before further construction can be done. Kennedy Memorial Park kitchen will be renovated. The plans for the renovation has been sent to architect Michael Mark Design, so the actual bid documents can be drawn up. Once this is done, the plans can be sent out to public bidding. There is concern in the Hempstead community regarding the pools at Lincoln Park. I'm happy to report, thanks to the board, we will proceed with the installation of a splash pad. Superintendent George Sanders informed the commission a plan to eliminate the large pool. This area will be used for additional parking, and the two smaller pools can remain, and the splash pad can be installed. The splash pad is an area filled with a non-slip surface or safety surface and various nozzles and features that can shower, spray, and shoot streams of water to create an inviting recreational water play for the children of Hempstead. After the commission reviewed all the new business, the meeting was adjourned at 8:15 p.m. by the chairperson, and the next meeting of the Parks and Recreation Commission is Tuesday, September 25th, 6:30 at Kennedy Memorial Park.
Thank you. And I should mention the seniors, the event was outstanding. Our seniors take a very good activity approach because tomorrow the senior circle is leaving on an 8-day cruise. So there's some fun that's going on as well. And in terms of the items that the deputy speaker made available to us, you mentioned the enhancement of the kitchen, the skate park. We have to pay for it. We get reimbursed after that occurs. But it will be done by the state through our deputy speaker.
And I also have another question. Do you have an update regarding the person that I asked to be put on the park commission board?
Yes, I thought it was going to be on today's document to make sure it's on there.
Okay, thank you.
I got a question. Okay. What, if anything, have we done the decision to remove the large pool at the park? That's a surprise to me. What went into what went into the decision
Well,
to move
well-
the pool and add parking?
Because we need more parking at all the Hempstead
Right,
parks.
I agree with that, but there's other, I mean, we have all of Ingram, is that Sycamore on that side of the street? What's that? On Ingram, I mean, we could get curb cuts on Ingram to park diagonal, so we could add probably 25 to 30 cars. That way, I don't understand why we would remove a pool for parking. I think that, I mean, that's not been approved by the board at this point.
I mean, I didn't say it was approved, I said that
No,
was
no,
a
I'm-
suggestion by the superintendent that maybe we could eliminate the larger pool for additional parking, which we need.
I don't believe that the initial parking is news to me as well. The purpose I thought was the spray park. I
Right.
know trustee Johnson and myself went to Tanner Park in Copay to see such a facility in action, and it's extremely popular, and it's something I think our kids would enjoy. The two other pools that still stay immediately will be available, and of course we have the Kennedy Park pools, which actually, in my opinion, are underutilized.
Yeah, which not too many residents come to the pool.
It's nasty. It's nasty in the locker rooms. It's nasty.
You'll have an opportunity to open mind if you want to voice it, but just give them the dialogue.
So your understanding is that we were taking a large pool out.
The large pool is unsafe and dangerous the way it stands now. And in replace of it is going to be that spray park. And I know if trustee Johnson wants to speak on it, we're both impressed. And everything, I think, is going to be an exciting future for the kids' park.
No, I'm not opposed to a spray park at all. I'm opposed to removal of the pool. For parking, where I think we should explore other ways of parking. So I'm not saying you guys have made that decision.
No, I just said that was a suggestion.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we need more parking at
Absolutely.
Kennedy Park too.
Absolutely.
And nobody really comes up with a solution. And my
It was never my
suggestion,
understanding that that was being removed from parking. I think trustee Daniel's suggestion is a good one because we often use that large grass area in order to be able to accommodate additional cars. We can formalize that. It's not a bad move in that direction.
Little we could do diagonal parking along Ingram.
Exactly.
yeah, but we still need more parking, especially when they have those soccer games. There's a lot of parking, and it's not really fair to the residents because when they come home, they have no place to park because
No, but
everybody
we're
said
talking
they
about
can.
utilizing that green
I
area.
know what you're talking about. I'm familiar with what you're talking about. But I'm just saying, to me, I think that's a good idea because we do need more parking. But we can also add to it with the suggestion that you made, trustee Daniels.
So if the people speaking could have the full attention that we appreciate. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Human Relations,
Good evening.
Good evening.
Nice to see you guys. You guys haven't seen me in a while, right? But guess what? Due
Just
to the
every day.
Village Hempstead Code Book, my Human Relations Council, we don't meet in the summer months. So therefore, I really didn't have anything to report about our meetings. But we did have some events that I just wanted to bring to your attention. We had our Caribbean American Heritage Month, which was, we had a concert at Kennedy Park. We had the reggae artist, Mr. Kenneth Robinson. July, we had the annual My Brother's Keeper fishing trip. The village sponsored 20 youths, ages 11 to 13, on a fishing trip. This fishing trip gave the youth an opportunity to learn essential skills that is needed in today's society. Also, we had our annual National Night Out program, which was in conjunction with the police department. The National Night Out program promotes police and community involvement. We had a nice turnout, even though the weather wasn't nice, but we still got a few hours in. Also, the Human Relations Council, in conjunction with the Parks and Recreation Department, we held a summer program at Michelle Park. We titled it the Lunch Circle. We were able to provide breakfast and lunch for all of the children that were in attendance. We also provided arts and crafts and sports activity. Thanks to Island Harvest, we were able to serve over 175 breakfast meals and over 1,200 lunch meals. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you. Personal Wireless Board,
Good evening. I'm reporting about the approved two-tier modification, T-Mobile Northeast LLC. T-Mobile Northeast submitted 2 wireless Tier 2 modification applications for review for a special use permit at base station location 56 Elm Avenue, Village Property, 320 Clinton Street, Village Property. It's a personal wireless company, submitted fees of $6,000 for the review. 56 and 320 will be getting approved purpose for a Tier 2 modification application to remove and upgrade each site 3 existing antennas, 1 per sector, replace 3 upgraded antennas and existing equipment per sector, including cables, galvanized piping, and other equipment as per plan. At 320, they will be adding a new generation on their, generator to their installing on their existing pad. All proposed work is to be in accordance with their CD documents submitted for the project. Proposed changes are depicted in their submitted plans as support of the application, and pursuant to the application proceeding as the zoning officer of the Village of Hempstead, I'm responsible for reviewing according to section 139-183C. The special use permit will be issued to the building department as a final step for the modification. All documents are in the attorney's office.
What is the 56 L?
That is the water plant,
Right, so there's an antenna on the water plant?
both of them,
On the tower itself?
on the tower.
What we get for rent?
How much do you get?
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with your pricing because I don't work with pricing.
Oh, getting rent?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We get rent. I'm just looking for an increase on the modifications because of the modifications, they have merged, and I was trying to get approval for an increase in fees
Approval from us, approved.
from the board
Already?
to go up on the review fees,
From
you
them?
know? Because the T-Mobile has merged with Metro, and they're buying up everything. Sprint is part of, they took over New Singular, something like that, you know, so the companies have started merging together. So the equity that we were getting is dwindling.
So you mean when they merge, they cancel one lease agreement, even if it still has time left?
Yes,
Okay.
they can do that. It's in their contract.
If the tenant merges with another
They pay
company,
3 years.
right, every 3 years.
No,
just-
I'm saying they only pay an additional 3 years they're supposed to, so. I
Right,
don't
so they
know
have
that
3
they
years
can
left
provide-
on it. Can you guys kind of smash your heads together and figure out a way where we can get Village of Hempstead residents educated in your respective trades so that they can take these tests? Extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and whether we need to figure out should the cost of the license be increased to help fund some of these educational programs, but we need to concentrate efforts to make sure that the people of the Village of Hempstead have the opportunity, not only the opportunity to take the test, but the training necessary to get to that point. So if you guys in your respective meetings can just brainstorm and help us figure out a way to make this happen, myself would be appreciative. And I could definitely say, yeah, and I think that is.
I brought this back to the committee. First of all, you have to be a certified teacher. We're not certified, even though we're licensed electricians, we're not certified teachers. So there is classes given, they're costly, they're probably close to $2,500 to $3,000. It's 80 hours or more than enough. more than that, it's like 180 hours for
So it sounds like you know the solution.
base.
You just gotta tell us what we need. If it's $2,500, it's $2,500 per person. We need to just know. We need to figure it out so that we can fund it. So we can make it
Most of
happen.
these people, we ask them where they did their training, and most of them take it out in Amityville there's an electrical training institute out there. Sal Ferrara is the president of it, and it's a very good class.
Okay.
I've been in the village working since 1975, in the village of Hempstead. And it's very difficult, now I'm an owner of Corporate Electric, and it's very difficult to get people to work. Young kids don't want to do this kind of work. It's hard work.
We'll find the kids.
Let's see if we can make
You get the program, we'll find the kids.
And you read that in the paper, they said plumbers and electricians and the trades are having great difficulty throughout the whole country. It's not just here, it's not just us.
So we do have unanimity in hoping that we can come up with an answer, and we'll be part of the solution.
Absolutely, we look forward to that. Okay, thank you. Good evening.
Plumbing board?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Board of Trustees, how's everybody this evening?
Good afternoon. Good evening.
A regular meeting of the examining Board of Plumbers was called to order at 4:15 on August 21st. The members present were Mr. Steinhardt, Mr. Castro, and myself, Kelly. Absent were none. We reviewed the paperwork of Daniel Weintraub to become a reciprocating plumber with the Village of Hempstead. After reviewing his paperwork, it was determined that a certificate of competency is not part of the Tri-Town agreement, therefore his application was denied at this time. The board will follow up with the City of Glen Cove and the Village of Great Neck regarding the possibility of an agreement to reciprocate. Mr. Weintraub's application will be addressed at that time if necessary. And then there being no further business, the meeting was adjourned at 10:05. Hey, he's okay. You got a little ketchup on you? He ain't gonna hurt nobody. Come here. I got him. You got a paper towel? You want to get rid of him? You can't leave here. Big piece of paper. Hey, Harry, this is your way for the fishing trip.
Hey, don't step on Billy.
Okay, the one that got away. I still think that was the pool one. It wasn't. It was like a cricket.
Thank you.
I assume, Trustee Daniels, you're pleading. Did you hear what they said, Kelly? We were trying to see if we, spirit of what was said earlier, to the electrical board, hoping to find some people from the village for the plumbing.
Yeah, you know, and I tell you, I'm totally on board with that. To tell you the truth, if you have people that are interested, I think the first thing they should do is try to get a job as an apprentice or a journeyman.
But share with us the information you have and the path that needs to be followed.
Well, in my opinion, the first thing they should do is get a job with a plumber and just get their feet wet right out of the gate. Let's not wait to get funding and this and that and the other thing.
Okay, if you could list such options, we'll share it with the public.
Yep, will do. I will. I'll have it emailed or I'll have it to you at the next board meeting. This thing here. What's that? My meeting's on the 4th Tuesday of the month. At 4:15, also in the building department. At 4:15 in the building department.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
We're all good?
Thank you, Kelly.
Are we doing the civics today? Reginald Lucas?
Historian?
Oh, this is just a copy of the
Thank
report.
you.
Good evening, Mayor Ryan and trustees and all. In anticipation of the September 29th street renaming big event and festival that focuses on Mayor Garner at the request of the 375th Committee, I have spent 75 to 80 hours since July 1st researching Hempstead's president's, is that better?
You're on your tippy toes.
Oh, and mayors. Oh, sorry. My goal is to write accurate information about each of the 42 men, no women yet, who have been elected to head the village since incorporation in 1853. This information with accompanying images will be formed into a display here in the village court, all around here. While I don't have images for all of the mayors prior to 1927, while they were called presidents then, I do have images for most of them. The images won't be of mayors alone, but also of the homes of some of the leaders of the past, like the house of the first village president, as well as past aspects of village life, such as plank roads, multiple footbridges over the streams that once ran throughout the village brass band, its well-respected African-American baseball team from the early 1900s, and I hold more. I have been researching at the Hempstead Public Library in databases of old newspapers going back as far as 1835, and through an intensive perusal of the original Village Board of Trustees minutes stored downstairs in the village hall. The display will be mounted by Janice Richardson and Samantha Fountain. It will provide a walk-through time of the incorporated village of Hempstead, looking at the village's changing challenges from impounding at-large horses, pigs, and geese in 1853 to providing housing and safety for at least 60,000 residents today, and also the village's ongoing triumphs. So again, the display will be here throughout the September 29th renaming events to add a historical component, and people can just come in and I'll be here answering questions. The Hempstead Historical Society will present a special workshop at St. George's Episcopal Church, whose long history is intricately woven with the villages, on Saturday, October 13th. More details later. Also next year, Christ First Presbyterian Church will have its 375th anniversary. I was able to digitize very important material from the archives. I did that wrong. Actually, the village library has a lot of information about Christ First, and so that celebration will be something to look forward to as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And has the Chamber of Commerce? We're putting item 15, Mr. Mathematics. There's a slight change on this one.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening all. I'm Nicole Bailey, the president for the Hempstead Chamber of Commerce.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Paloma Griffin. I'm the vice president for the Hempstead Chamber of Commerce.
Please report. Hempstead Chamber of Commerce, in collaboration with the Village of Hempstead CDA and SUNY Westbury, will present a 6-week workshop series entitled Bright Ideas from Incubation to Action. And it's geared to women entrepreneurs wanting information on how to start a business. It's going to be held in October. We don't have a date yet, but we're working on that date. And it will be held at the Springboard Incubators office, 50 Clinton Street in Stephen Lindo. Anyone interested will check our Facebook page, our website for further information. And this workshop series will give you information on the day-to-day process of business startup, as well as the prerequisites to launching a business. So we invite all women, right now for women, to join up and to take part in this.
I would just like to add to the last comment about the electrical program as well as a plumbing program. My son actually took a program with United Way Youth Builders, and they have an amazing program. He actually got a 90-day program, and he got into Local 25, and he works with the electrical union as an apprentice. So that's a program you definitely can look into that can help the youth. And it was free. And he also got a free car as well. So there was programs that our children can take. I will definitely get the information.
I should mention your youth builder program actually helped build Campbell Park.
It's an amazing program.
Thank you.
I have a question.
I have a question.
Well,
What is that? What is the Chamber of Commerce? I can't respond on it. Oh, you would have talked to us? Did I know? Is the Chamber of Commerce is here? I can't respond to the Chamber of Commerce. You know me folks who shoot it up here, right?
no, I understand that. Each organization has somebody who represents them and makes a report.
When I get to respond, I can't ask no questions.
You'll have an opportunity right to ask any question you like. And Michael Abrahams, I should recognize you too with the Youth Build program. You're familiar with that, of course. Okay, let's move forward.
Does the board wish to have the minutes of the regular meeting of August 7, 2018, and a special meeting of August 21st, 2018 read aloud?
Yeah, I move that the reading of the minutes of the regular meeting of August 7, 2018, and the special meeting of August 21st, 2018, be dispensed with and accepted as reviewed.
So moved.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Report of the village justice. Total number of cases for the month of July. Total number of cases before the court, 2,365. Total monies remitted to village controller, $272,209. Copy of this report is on file in the village clerk's office and may be viewed by the public during office hours. Clerk wishes to report that Mayor Ryan and Deputy Mayor Renfro have approved his name business and taxes license as reviewed. Does the board wish to approve the resolution granting the taxpayer SBG Realty Corp. for the property known as 495-501 South Franklin Street, Hempstead, New York, a refund for $3,200 for the tax year 2013-14 through 2018-19?
Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Does the board wish to approve the resolution granting the taxpayer and Federal Realty Corp. 445 Cameron Realty LLC for the properties known as 445 South Franklin Street and South Franklin Chain Streets, Hempstead, New York, a refund for $70,000 payable in 2 equal installments of $35,000 for the tax years 2013-14 through 2018-19.
So moved. Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Clerk offers the following resolution that permission is hereby granted for the incorporated village of Hempstead to enter into an agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice to receive a grant for the period of October 1st, 2018 to September 30th, 2020 in the amount of $34,909.
Move. Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Clerk offers the following resolution that authorization is hereby granted for the incorporated village of Hempstead to enter into an agreement with H2M Architects and Engineers, 538 Brook Road, 4th floor, Melville, New York, 11747, to provide professional engineering services associated with the replacement of the fueling station at the village public works facility. The amount of the inspection fee is estimated at $19,800 and is based on hourly fee for 15 hours a week and approximation of the time in 12 weeks is online.
So moved. Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Does the board authorize the mayor to execute the state revolving fund documents related to the construction of water wells at Kennedy Park?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Does the board authorize the mayor to execute the state revolving fund documents related to the construction of improvements to the water plant located on Laurel Avenue?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
11 pool. Thus, the Board of Trustees wish to approve the recommendation by the Electrical Licensing Board of the Incorporated Village of Hempstead to issue a license as a master and employment electrician to Royal Health Supply.
So moved. This is gonna start changing. Start doing something else. These habits, village.
Give me a second, please.
Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Item 13, full. Clerk offers the following resolution that authorization be granted for Iglesia Pentecostal Unida, 298 Fulton Avenue, Hempstead, New York, 11550, to hold a community outreach gospel activity from September 6 to September 8, 2018, in parking field number 1, between the hours of 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Separate measures contingent upon compliance with the rules and regulations of the Hempstead Police Department and all liability in connection with the holding of this event and observance of the code of the Village of Hempstead as it applies to group gatherings of this type. The finding of all appropriate insurance are determined by the board herein, and indemnification and the execution of a whole harmless agreement on such terms and conditions as may be acceptable to the village attorney.
So moved. Second.
Question. Is there a time frame that anyone have for getting any applications or requesting?
It's 45 days prior to.
So, what's this, 3 days?
I know, and I wrote that question out there.
I don't know how the board feels, but I'm just asking that if these are not in a timely fashion, that they have to wait until the next time. This is only 3 days.
Well, I agree with you 100%, because if we said no, they would have no function right now. It's 2 days away.
Right.
So they already have that. But to me, part of the question is, it looks like the application was actually signed a long time ago that we're the ones that slowed down. Not necessarily the applicant.
I didn't want to say that.
It's not.
But the application was submitted back on July 31st. However, we have a protocol.
Where is our
Once we
protocol?
receive our application, the application goes back to police department, legal department, DPW, because we have to find out is there any overtime costs.
Right.
So once we
They get
get,
back to you.
yes, once all that information is provided to the clerk's office, we're ready to submit that application for board approval.
And the insurance has to be returned.
Yes.
So it is a slowing process.
Maybe it should be 60 days then, since we have to stick the pig to the snake internally before we then issue a program.
We can take that into consideration.
That's more comfortable for you.
Yeah.
This is tight.
So trustee Johnson,
Yes.
trustee Perez,
Yes.
trustee Renfro,
Yes.
trustee Daniels,
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes.
Now, item 15, we're gonna pull to.
Why?
That's Mr. Mathematics, because he wants a rain day. And if we put a rain day on the application, there's overtime involved too, so we have to do the whole thing all over again. Because there's a difference between overtime Saturday and Sunday, because he's looking for a rain day on a Sunday. So I have to do the whole thing all over.
The cost.
Yeah, exactly. And they just brought it up to me like
You talking
a
about
few
15?
minutes ago. Yes.
Yes.
No, 15, yes.
Is he going to pay the cost? But you don't know what the number is?
Exactly, at this point.
Not with the new.
Not with the rain day, because he wants a rain day on the application. And when he submitted his application originally, he didn't request a rain day. So now I have to go all over again to police department, DPW.
We can do it the next one.
Yes, yes, we can do that on the next
Say
meeting.
Yes.
Yes. So we're moving to 16. Resolution scheduling a public hearing to consider amending the code of the Incorporated Village of Hempstead, chapter 100-25, plumbing issuance of license. Whereas the village board of trustees desires to amend the code of the Incorporated Village of Hempstead at the request of the plumbing board with respect to plumbing licenses. And whereas pursuant to section 617.5C, 20 and 27 SECRA, regulations amended the code of the Incorporated Village of Hempstead are routine for continuing agency administration and management, not including new programs for the reordering of priorities, and promulgation of the regulations, policies, procedures, and legislative decisions in connection with related type of action. And therefore, this proposed action, type of action, requires no further action pursuant to SICREP. Now therefore, the village board of trustees hereby schedules a public hearing to be held on the 18th day of September 2018 at 6:15 p.m. at the Hempstead Village Hall 99 Acres Court, Hempstead, New York, to consider amending chapter 100-25 of plumbing issuance of license.
So moved.
Second.
You have a second on the motion, please?
Second.
A question. The planning board still here? Pretty general question. What is this? Like, I don't know.
Basically what it is, we have a tri-town agreement that's in effect, you know, that's been since, I think, 1969 or something like that. Basically, what that is allowing the village, if they want to reciprocate with somebody outside, there's a lot of municipalities and townships that do not reciprocate. And if we can get an individual agreement with them, then they can reciprocate with our plumbers and we can reciprocate with theirs. That's basically where it is in a nutshell.
What's the benefit in that?
Well, it's just a benefit with people that have been doing work for 50 years. If they, you know, want to come in here and do a job, like sometimes you got all these big projects going over there. A lot of the village plumbers, you know, they don't have the manpower to do it. And if they want to reciprocate, just in the same respect, if our guys want to go out there and do a job, say in Iceland or Babylon, as long as we have that agreement in place, but we're not going to agree with that unless they take our guys. That's what it's saying. Right now, in the tri-town agreement, we have it. But if we want to reciprocate outside of that agreement, we need something in writing between the village and that other, either incorporated village or other township.
So but how do we know that the standards are the same going from one municipality to the other?
Well, if they come to our village, they're going to have to go by our village laws, and you know, if they're going to, let's just say the town of Babylon or Islip or whatever, if we have an agreement with them, and they go by the state code, they're going to have to, our guys are going to have to go by the state code.
I'm more concerned about the testing. I mean, you just hear saying how rigorous
The testing, but when you
is.
reciprocate, there is no testing.
Right, that's my point.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you know,
So here we are, we have rigid standards and testing for people to get certified at the village level, right here, but we're willing to reciprocate from an outside village without knowing if their standards are the same as ours. That's my question. Like, why would we do that? What the benefit of doing that?
Basically,
Technically, that's a backdoor way into doing business with the village.
well, I don't necessarily know, you know. I mean, a lot of these guys, you know, they're licensed plumbers, 20, 30 years. You know how many guys I got coming over to the building department? They got their licenses, 50 licenses on the island, they're licensed in the city, and they come in here and I tell them they can't fix a toilet. I mean, it doesn't, you know, it's hard to do that, and I understand what you're saying.
We're talking about residents, they can't fix the
Well,
toilet.
the thing is, as far as the residents, if the residents want to get a village, we talked about that before. You know, I'll give you a list of stuff they should do.
No, I'm not talking about outside. Those residents trying to become licensed plumbers within the village. What I'm saying is that our testing meets a certain standard that's created by your board, but yet we're going to allow people who are from an outside board approved in to do work at the village, but we don't know what standard that is that's being set from the outside municipality. So technically, that's leaving the back door open for people to come in and do work.
I hear what you're saying, and in the same respect, like if our guys went to Islip, how did that Islip know that our guys are qualified to work in their village? That's where you're going, right? I mean, isn't that somewhat what we're talking about? Or?
No, it is, but I don't care about Islip.
Oh, no, I understand. I'm with you there. I get you. I get you. But, you know, this is the way it's been in the Tri-Town agreement since 1969, and we're trying to just make an agreement with other townships.
That's almost 50 years ago.
I agree with you. I mean, I don't know how you know. That's something.
Now look at the plumbing, the people in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 trucks out there.
That's right.
So if they came here, they don't necessarily have to meet the same standard as we apply
They
to
have to have a
all.
license.
No, they have to have their regular.
But the license is their home license.
Their license is their own license, and they come in, they have their certificate of competency that they passed their test with that municipality. They can't come in here without a certificate of competency. That's what.
A lot of things our guys can't handle against it.
There's no question about it. That's 100% also true.
I see a job happening right now.
All
that
the
we
time.
can't handle.
It's
I mean,
true.
I don't like it.
I see it all the time.
Let's keep the
I'm not gonna
conversation.
go into this. All right, anything else will be good? I mean, and I'll put something together if you want to hear, okay?
Thank you.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
No.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Clerk offers the following resolution authorizing the reappointment of Madeline L. Muscular Squire, Spur, DM, Special Prosecutor in the Legal Department at a fee of $30 per hour, such term appointment to end on April 2nd, 2019.
Move.
Second.
Second, also a question. Mayor Ron, you mentioned that there was that you didn't mention this? You mentioned it. How many hours do they work per week and how many days do they work?
I was going to, it's 1 or 2 days a week, depending on the court.
So the court days are every Wednesday,
Yep.
and then their conferences every first Tuesday of the month,
Right.
and then trials every last Friday in the month. So there's a total of 6 days of which they get picked from too. And then per diem, the hour.
Got you. Thanks.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Clerk offers the following resolution authorizing the appointment of Joey Bunch Squire, per diem Special Prosecutor in the Legal Department at a fee of $30 per hour, such term appointment to end on April 2nd, 2019.
Move.
Second.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Clerk offers the following resolution authorizing the appointment of and owing salary changes for certain full-time and part-time employees of the Incorporated Village of Hempstead, as reviewed as follows. Nathaniel Berkeley, 99 Nichols Court, Hempstead, New York, new hire, for village clerk, labor and part-time, $14.91 per hour upon approval. Gabriel Lloyd, 99 Nichols Court, Hempstead, New York, new hire, DPW, sanitation, labor and part-timer, $14.91 per hour upon approval. Sean Riley, 99 Nichols Court, Hempstead, New York, title change. DPW Street Department, MDO trainee, grade 107O, $52,099 per year upon civil service approval. Joaquin Centeno, 99 Nichols Court, Hempstead, New York, title change. DPW Street Department, sign shop supervisor, grade 12-6, $66,065 per year upon civil service approval. Cleva McDowell, 99 Nichols Court, Hempstead, New York, new hire. DPW Parks, labor and full-time temp, grade 140 new, $50,187 upon approval. Ahmad Harmon, 99 Nichols Court, Hempstead, New York, new hire. DPW Parks, motor equipment operator temp, grade 180, $54,015 per year upon approval. Vance Bailey, 99 Nichols Court, Hempstead, New York, promotion. DPW Streets, motor equipment operator trainee, grade 172 new, $54,172 per year upon approval. James G. Murphy, 99.
Lieutenants. The second one was number 2 on the list, and to get to the other one, we had to promote him from detective sergeant to lieutenant. In addition, that detective sergeant is also taking on some new responsibilities.
Okay, so we're replacing 2 lieutenants with 3 lieutenants.
Correct.
Somebody special.
I have a question. Not done. My second question is, with the sergeants, was anybody passed over on the list?
Yes.
Thank you.
My question is, how much are we saving overtime by promoting these guys?
Well, I don't have the exact figures, but it is a lot.
When you say a lot, give me a rough idea.
Well, to give you an example, there's a lieutenant on the desk working right now, and he's basically here because I got promoted. And it's probably going to save around about $1,700 to pay him tonight because there's a vacancy there.
And every night we run into the same problem.
When the lieutenants are not working, the ones who were promoted are not working, you're paying that amount for a lieutenant every night.
Well, we haven't quantified the amount of active pay. Do we know how much, I don't know if I'm asking the right person. Do we know how much overtime, like since you guys have been promoted, how much overtime we've paid to backfill?
I have a breakdown of the overtime in terms of what sergeants and lieutenants are making overtime and how much they've made. But in order to figure out if that's because of the promotions, you have to go back to the calendar and figure out who worked what day and the reason for it. We didn't have enough time to do that.
Right, I think that's the problem here. That's why I didn't want this, I want to pull this so that we can go a little deeper in the conversation because even though the memo was dated August the 3rd, I can speak for myself, I received this on Friday. And so there's $45,000 of annual salary increases just on the lieutenant side, not including the sergeants, which is about 57,000. And this doesn't account for the pension liability associated with moving them from one grade to another. There's additional pension costs that we got to absorb over basically their lifespan from the time they retire to now, and that calculation hasn't been made either. So I don't understand how we without having all the numbers in front of us, how we know that this is an actual savings or not. I don't know if this is an actual savings.
The money is allocated in the budget for such promotions.
Yes.
And it is an overtime reducer and help the efficiency of the department.
Correct.
That's compelling to me.
Well, we don't know the numbers. We're saying it's
No,
overtime
I've
efficiency.
got the numbers of what they're being paid now and what they will be
But
paid.
you're not taking all of the costs associated with the.
I understand that, but
This is a whole sentence with a period at the end. Okay, so if we don't know all the numbers in the equation, how can we make statements as if it's efficient and cost efficient? We haven't done the numbers, we haven't done the math. All I'm saying is, can it wait 2 weeks so we can do the actual math? I mean, you had the benefit, I'm assuming, of having this since August the 3rd. I received this on Thursday with the rest of the addenda, with the rest of the agenda. So we haven't had the opportunity to look and see what the real savings is. I don't deny that. I'm sure they're not recommending something that's going to hurt us. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm just saying is, can we prove it? Can we make sure that we're right before we just fly in through the night?
I just know we have a major overtime problem with the police department. And I'm hoping this will definitely cut it down.
Hoping is not good enough, we need facts.
Well,
We'll get an opportunity to my question. We have a motion, we have a second, move the vote.
Trustee Johnson?
1 second, so everything is clear in regards to the information?
I'm not clear because we don't have the information. Unfortunately, the treasurer, Ray, was out today, so we couldn't get the information about the pension liability associated with these title changes, because the pension liability that we claim goes forward from the time they retire forward. We got to pay that pension into the New York State, and that's not part of the calculation that's made right here. The only thing we're saying is there's going to be a cost reduction in the actual overtime, but there's more cost involved with the promotion than just the overtime.
Right. So we can't wait to find out the numbers on there? Can we wait to find out the numbers?
Why not?
Chief, the question about the numbers that we asked, is that something that can be available in 2 weeks?
Yes.
So, will we be comfortable? Well, we do have 2 pages on this.
The first sheet we have to.
But let us, pause for a second. Madam Attorney, are we able to separate this? Just one resolution.
We've done that in the past.
But this is actually one resolution. It's not like so I would recommend that the entire resolution be passed as written.
Yes.
On the motion to amend the resolution.
The recommendation of the attorney is the resolution passes or fails in its entirety.
Well, we don't want to vote to pull it, so if it fails, we can pull it.
Well, we can do that.
Yeah, why don't we just
So do
pull
you
it
want the
and
point
then.
from the floor?
What is the pleasure of the board?
I didn't tell them to. Point from the floor.
What is the pleasure? Anybody wish to comment?
if they can have the information.
That's what I just
by 2
recommended.
weeks, it's not gonna hurt.
But you guys are
That's
talking,
just
I
what we
can't
vote.
hear. I just recommended that. Thank you. Okay.
We do have a motion and a second. It's going to be withdrawn, and we can pull this, now we're going to vote on it.
Thank you.
The motion is a stand.
We got the motion.
Are we voting it or we
We're
not?
coming down right
Now
now.
we're gonna vote. It was trustee Perez and trustee Renfro.
We're pulling it?
No, we're asking
And you have to take the
if you
vote.
want to
We're gonna
withdraw
vote it
your
down,
motion.
and then they'll-
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trustee Johnson?
Hold on a second. What are we voting on?
No, we're gonna vote on this, okay? And then we're gonna read the resolution again with the first page only.
I see, okay. We want
And
to
we're gonna
divide
leave
this
the
up
police
after we
department,
withdraw the
exactly.
motion.
So question on the first page only.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna vote now for the entire resolution. And then we're gonna I'm gonna read this again, just with the first page, with the employees that we have for the DPW and the clerk's office. The police department, we're gonna leave them out.
Okay, but still, I still have a question on the
There's no rule that you can't vote.
Let's see if we get a little more here.
Hold on, he has a question for the.
Let's ask, please, if the
So,
attorney to
at
address
this point, there was a motion on the floor and it was properly seconded. This resolution has to be voted down. Once the board votes this down, then you can decide what the next action is going to be. But there are questions regarding both portions.
I just have the DPW question on one, just on the new hire.
So then if we reread the resolution,
You don't want to do that?
you can do that.
On the second, on the second.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we ready? Trustee Johnson?
Voting yes.
Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
No,
Mayor Ryan?
You said pull it.
no, you're not voting to pull it, you're voting on the
This is to vote
resolution.
it down.
This is to vote it down, so you're voting yes to the resolution.
I'm voting no.
But see, they voted yes. So let me just.
The yes vote indicates that it stands or that we're removing it.
If you voted yes, this indicates that the whole entire resolution passes, including the police department. So that was the option that they took.
I think there was confusion the way the voting went.
That's right.
So
So a yes vote accepts both pages, a no vote simply
It's to get
throws
rid of the
this,
entire
and you have to
resolution.
leave it down.
You wanted to vote it down.
If, then you vote no.
That's right.
Then you vote no. If you want to vote the entire resolution down.
I think we're comfortable in starting again on this.
Okay, let's try one more time. Trustee,
No, before I vote, let me say this. There's nothing that says that you have to vote, just as the resolution, it can be separated. Where is it said that it can be
The
separated?
problem is that it was already moved.
No, that's not my question. Where does it say it can't be separated?
We didn't say
Where's,
that.
no, I'm asking you, is it in writing that it can be separated?
We haven't said that. We are separating it. But because it's pending, you have to vote it down so she can separate it.
That's what I thought.
That's what you're doing. So right now you have, can you just give me a second, please, so I can explain it to the board and they're clear? Right now, there's a resolution pending, which includes both DPW workers and police officers. There's a question regarding the police department. Because this is pending, I'm recommending that they vote it down and then reread it again the way they would like to pass it. So Patricia is going to reread the resolution with only the DPW employees. Trustee Daniels will have a question at that time, and if you decide to pass it, you can pass it at that time. We can then put the police officers on again in 2 weeks in a separate resolution. Does that make sense?
Not really.
Okay, so what's the question?
So, when we vote now, this vote,
Yes.
since whatever we voted for before, you're taking that back, correct? Yes
The
or no?
vote, the poll was not complete. We ended at Trustee Daniels. You voted yes, Trustee Pettis voted yes, and Trustee Daniels, we ended here.
Okay, so when his vote for no was against what? What was it for?
I didn't
He
vote
voted,
yes. I didn't vote.
he didn't get a chance to vote, but he was going, I believe, I heard no coming out of his mouth, because he was
I heard him
voting
say
the
no.
entire resolution down.
You said no.
He was voting the entire resolution down.
Well, maybe it's more complicated than this. A no vote removes this, and we revisit it for page one.
exactly.
Yes,
All
exactly.
right, let's
Let's
see
let
what
me
we
read that
get.
again.
Let's try it again.
Trustee,
I speak on his unreadiness on the part of trustee Johnson.
Okay, so,
Okay. We'll reread it. We're gonna reread it, trustee Johnson. We're not.
you want to vote it down?
Then we can keep it up, okay?
Yeah.
What happened is, the clerk read the entire resolution, but we want to separate this page. But before we could do that, it was already moved in substance, so we had to take the vote, complete vote. So now we're putting it down, so she can read it, not just this entire resolution, so we can reread it and start over. We just have to complete the last section and then start over.
So here we go. Trustee Johnson?
Let the attorney sit, please. We're not in a rush.
Trustee Johnson?
No.
Trustee Pettis?
No.
Trustee Renfro?
No.
Trustee Daniels?
No.
Mayor Ryan?
No.
Now, we're gonna do 19A.
You don't have to read the whole page.
Yes, I'm going to. I feel comfortable doing it. Clerk offers the following resolution, authorizing the appointment of and salary changes for certain full-time and part-time employees of the appropriate Village of Hempstead as reviewed as follows. Nathaniel Birkin, 99 Equals Court, Hempstead, New York, new hire, village clerk, labor part-time at $14.91 per hour, upon approval. Andre Lloyd, 99 Equals Court, Hempstead, New York, new hire, DPW, sanitation, labor part-time, $14.91 per hour, upon approval. Sean Riley, 99 Equals Court, Hempstead, New York, title change, DPW, street department, MEO trainee, grade 107O, $52,099 per year upon civil service approval. Joaquin Centeno, 99 Equals Court, Hempstead, New York, title change, DPW, street department, sign shop supervisor, grade 12, $66,065 per year upon civil service approval. Cleva McDowell, 99 Equals Court, Hempstead, New York, new hire, DPW, parks, laborer, full-time, temp, grade 104, on new, $50,187 per year upon approval. Ahmad Harman, 99 Equals Court, Hempstead, New York, new hire, DPW, parks, motor equipment operator, temp, grade 101O, $54,050 per year upon approval. Vance Bailey, 99 Equals Court, Hempstead, New York, promotion, DPW, streets, motor equipment operator trainee, grade 107 to new, $54,172 per year upon approval.
So moved.
Second.
Question. This is just the beginning of the sign shop, is that right?
I would say it's the start of a new division. It's going to be managed, it's managed under the street department. And it's just not really efficient. It's not, it's too much for the street department to handle with their own operations. So we're creating a paint shop division.
To do just signs?
About street lining. The lines in the streets, your stop lines, but the signs in the streets.
The sounds do need that, I think, for a statement. And this will be a reflection of our ability to be able to make a statement of village.
Right, but from what I understand, this is going to be a three-person department. We're starting at $67,000. By the time we finish with the department, it'll be 100 plus.
Well, actually, I think we're only adding a part-time.
We're only adding a part-timer to it.
Say that?
We're only going to be adding one part-timer to it.
So it'll be one person plus a part-timer.
Correct.
To do street signs and lines and everything else. Correct. We can't bring the streets out together. Can we get street signs on Amazon?
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Pettis?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes.
Clerk offers the following resolution that all meeting bills, including self-insurance bonds, Ordered by the Board of Trustees of Chippewa dated September 4, 2018, the approved as previously reviewed.
Move. Second.
Trustee Johnson? Trustee Perez?
Yes.
Trustee Renfro?
Yes.
Trustee Daniels?
Yes.
Mayor Ryan?
Yes. I now the open mic section, and let's begin with President Lucas, please.
Good evening, gentlemen. My wife, yeah, they're on vacation.
5 minutes, okay? Break you for 5 minutes.
No time allows.
Yes.
As usual, I'd like to know, on shots fired, how many shots have been fired since the last meeting that we had? And the damage to property and person. There's been I was on vacation the last couple of days. I understand there was a stick up on one of the heights with the college kids that got up or something like that. I'm not gonna let you know more information on that. But the TV is saying that a laptop was the only thing that was taken. And was there any, brutality connected with that?
Fake news.
Also, a person died on one of the blocks there, and it took me a long time to get information on, what happened, but there was police action. I wasn't able to get any information. I like to be able to get information when, something like that happens, especially in my neighborhood. That's about it.
All right, to begin with, there was, we had 17 shot spotter alerts. Out of those 17s, there was 4 actual shootings. Out of those 4 shootings, 2 people were shot. There are no fatalities. Neither one is cooperating with the police. There's a video of one. It shows a guy with a gun chasing a guy around the car. So he actually knew who was chasing him. But the victim told us he doesn't know who shot him. Said he doesn't know if they were white or black. Said he doesn't know if they're male or female. He's just not cooperating. As far as you're talking about the robbery at it was on Fairview Boulevard, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a laptop taken. We don't know why that house was targeted. There was nobody hurt, and detectives are investigating.
The last meeting that we had on Terrace Avenue, there was a bunch of shots. How many shots were fired on Terrace Avenue and there was no victims?
Are you talking about incidents, or are you talking about having?
I'm talking about on Terrace Avenue. There was a lot of shots in there, right after the meeting that we had here at the village.
Well, there was, I believe they found 5 or 6 shell casings behind 77 Terrace, if that's the one you're talking about.
Okay. The reason why I ask you all that is that a lot of shootings and bullets are being flying around. And, I don't feel safe. I don't know about the rest of the residents in here. But, there's got to be some answer to this other than, we can't get somebody to say who did what or what. How can we strengthen our gun laws for the village of Hempstead anyhow, so that a person won't be able to carry a gun and shoot it, and then get out on bail and carry a gun again and shoot it again?
Well, that's done through the state. It's the state gun laws. I understand your concern. We did arrest somebody with a gun. He made bail. He was out on the street again. He got caught with a gun a second time. He went back to jail. He was let back out on the street. He did a robbery. He went back to jail for the robbery, and the victim got cold. The subject, whoever the target was, had cold feet and refused to testify, so they let him back out on the street again. This is all the court system. This is not us. We arrested him, and they keep letting him back out on the street.
So, Mayor, trustees, how should we handle something like this? If a person keeps, getting caught, and, getting out, and he gets caught again, and, how do we deal with this?
You have to go to Albany.
I want to hear from.
It's clearly a court situation. Judges everywhere have to get stricter. Part of that is the way you vote, when you vote into that office. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Patricia McNeil?
Mr. Mayor, there's hardly no one here in the departments I need to address for seniors. I'm sick and tired of hearing about the wonderful times seniors had when all seniors are not notified. We are seniors who live in homes and we pay taxes, just like people pay rent and this tax money and that. We pay taxes directly to you guys, and we don't get notified of any senior programs. We don't get notified of any senior picnics. It would have been nice. Maybe I wanted a sandwich and an umbrella too, but that didn't happen. And why not? And I'm here in the village. Everyone here knows me and everyone sees me. I haven't been anywhere. But do I get notified? And there's so many others on my block that's just the same. And it's totally unfair, and we're tired of not being counted except for our dollars. We want our coins, but we can't get services. Why do we still continue to do this? I spoke to Ms. Thompson when she first got put in that position, and I don't see where anything has progressed. So what's going on? You're still charging me, and I'm still paying, but I get no benefit. That's number one. The library hours. When I moved here, the library was open 7 days a week. Then now the library is down to 6 days a week. No, the summer is down to 5 days a week. When is parents supposed to have time to work with their children, to have their projects done? Most parents work 5 days a week. On Saturdays, they do their laundry, housework, and whatever, they pay their bills and other running around. Sunday is usually a day that they go to the library. So we're not open. But our budget hasn't gone down in the library. We keep hiring, and we keep hiring. But we're open less and less time. How has the community benefited from the library being closed on Saturdays and Sundays? The car dealerships, we get pilots of car dealerships, but they park their cars over at Roosevelt Field Mall. I'm sure Roosevelt Field's not allowed them to park for free. We give them free here in Hempstead, but they're paying someone else. How come we can't get paid? We keep approving pilots, we keep wanting them to have pilots, but they take their money, they take their coins and pay someone else. They come and pimp us out for free, but they pay someone else on the other side of town. Why is that, Mayor? And about the park, why close the pool? Why don't we add slides to make that pool more attractive? Why don't we add slides? There's other things you could do to the pool to make people want to come there. We can make it more appealing and have more activities there than what we have now. And as far as these wireless contracts, who write the contracts? Do they write the contracts submitted to us and we just sign off on them? We have no say-so? This is our village. You guys keep forgetting this. This is our village. People come here and tell us what time it is. That's not the way it should be. And that's it. So I'd like to have responses, please.
Just in terms of the seniors, the notification of the senior programs is online.
Why has it been online, Don? You send out a bulletin periodically. Why can't
It's also in the bulletins that is sent out. Let me explain that the seniors meet, so you know this, Wednesdays, Kennedy Park, 11 o'clock to 5.
Right. But every senior that was at that picnic does not attend that program on Wednesday.
No.
And normally they only notify the seniors who are in senior housing, not seniors who are in private housing.
Senior houses do get notified, but
Yes,
others
they
as
do.
well, through the mailings and also through our
So how
online
come we can't
notification.
get mailings? We don't
They're
deserve a
online.
stamp? We don't deserve to have a stamp sent to us? How come we can't get mailings? You could mail it to
The
senior
mailings
housing.
do go to everybody. They go
So
4
I've
times a
been living
year.
here for 35
It's listed
years.
in each time the quarterly events come up. They're listed your key events at that particular time. There's no secret. The place was packed.
Yes, I found it about 3 hours after it started on Facebook. Why can't I be notified that people on my block, I can walk to Kennedy Park? But are we notified of it? No, we're not.
I'm
No,
baffled
we're
that
not.
you didn't know about it, but nevertheless, that's the answer. It's available.
So why can't we pull records? Why can't we start a list? Why is it someplace you can sign up, the CDA or whoever's in charge of this can notify all seniors, not
Well,
just some
You can all
seniors?
get the word around. It's Wednesdays, 11 to 5 at Kennedy Park.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you have your senior picnics,
The
when you
senior
have your
picnic
senior
has been
computer
announced.
program classes.
We have flyers, we have all the notifications we could possibly do. I'm baffled.
No,
you
people
know,
live in
where-
apartment houses, they come and it's all in their lobby, all on the floor, the flyers. We get nothing, but they make sure they deliver to apartment houses.
In the mailings, the highlights for that particular segment is indicated. The library is open 6 days a week, it's not closed on Saturdays.
It's on the summer, it is.
Pardon?
Summertime is closed on Saturdays.
And I'm not quite sure how the Roosevelt Field factors into the.
Because they pay to park their cars at Roosevelt Field.
I
You
see
go to
the
Roosevelt
cars
Field and
there.
they park, they pay there, but they don't pay here in
Well, where we
Hempstead.
gonna put
We give them pilots. Why are we
No,
continuing
no,
to give
that's
them
not the
pilots?
question. The
They
question
don't
is-
pay here, but they pay
No,
someplace
the
else.
question I'm asking is, the cars that are in Roosevelt Field, and there are many, where would we put them in the village Hempstead?
That's not my problem.
No, but we
They
don't.
have to build parking areas, they have to build buildings, they can put parking there.
Well,
But they have to pay us.
I don't know if that's
They
cost
have to
effective,
pay
but
us,
I'm
Don.
just offering it
They're
up.
making money because they keep buying more and more cars, they pay other people, but they don't pay
Well,
us.
we're going in 2 different directions in terms of the questioning. The Lincoln Park pool, there are 3 pools there, 2 will be sustained, and 1 is going to be changed.
But why can't we put slides there? Maybe it's fun.
Let me just make a comment on Lincoln Park pool. The pools are underutilized. A Lincoln Park pool at one time was closed, we were sure if we opened it, the attendance would be phenomenal. It is not, and it has been not. The lifeguards would be sitting there looking at that.
I understand that.
So we will
Give us a
make
reason
you
why to come
another
here.
attraction, which we think will be beneficial to the
Give us a
youth of our
reason, don't
community.
throw the baby out with the bathwater, give us a reason why to come here, Don. Just for
That's
cool
what
with
we're
water.
doing.
Kennedy Park is disgusting, you go in that locker room, that locker room is always nasty, dirty, water on the floor, that park is disgusting. That locker room at Kennedy Park is nasty.
Well, I can't really comment.
Oh,
this
I
out.
can, my daughter's a competitive swimmer, we go there, we swim every Sunday.
I'll trust you on that, we'll have to make an improvement in that regard. In terms of the Lincoln Park pool, 2 of the park pools will be sustained, and there'll be an improvement in the opinion.
Why can't we bring an attraction down? We could bring
That's
a
what
water
this-
slide.
that's
No,
what-
we could keep the pool and bring a water slide into the pool.
This is what we're doing. Well, actually, the slides and diving board at Kennedy Park, for example, were disallowed by the Board of Health. We had to remove the diving boards.
Why? Water health, why is that?
Well, that's their call, for safety reasons.
But that's at Kennedy Park, what about the other park?
Well, the same type of rule would be applicable as well. But I'm telling you, what we're doing with Lincoln is an enhancement.
Well, if you want to enhance attraction, you should make the place, make someone want to come here on.
That's
No,
exactly
they're
right.
not doing that. No, Kennedy Park, no, everybody throws everything in Kennedy Park. Kennedy Park is not that great. We're about to put a locker room, it's not. Take a walk
Well,
over there.
your comment about the locker room will be followed.
Okay.
Thank you.
And what about, okay, landing slides, oh, the wireless contracts, who makes the contracts? Do they come to us already made up and we just sign off on them?
Yeah, that question had been asked before. We're asking them to bring the contracts to us, so we'll have a better answer in the next presentation. That was asked earlier.
Thank you.
Please rise.
Oh, she left.
Deputy Mayor Charles Renfro, Trustee Daniels, Trustee Perry Pettis, and Trustee Lamont Johnson. From all the way 100% Incorporated, we would like to thank you all for our event we had on the 28th of August. And our trustees was not here, but Mayor Ryan, Trustee Lamont was here. And here's your citations all the way 100% since you wasn't here. I'm giving them they gave the citation, they're getting citations from all the way 100% Incorporated, 100 Terrace Avenue for the block party that we had August 28th, and I'm thanking them on behalf of consideration as a community leader.
And we thank you for having that event. It was popular, well received.
My other issue I have is with Hempstead Chamber of Commerce. Okay? You used to ask me to come here and speak on Hempstead Chamber of Commerce, and that was my idea. Now you see the new or supposed to be president of Hempstead Chamber of Commerce, Quilla Bailey. Okay? Now, what did she talk about? Our businesses. Has she talked about any of our businesses and going out and doing grand openings and keeping our businesses in the community? You haven't heard that because she's not doing that and she's into her own self and her people. Okay? If she wasn't into her own self and her own people, she would be talking about, I have this grand opening here, I've been to this business here, trying to bring it in and keep our businesses in the community. All right? And another thing, she would be worried about how I dress and represent Hempstead Chamber of Commerce when I'm out in the community. Okay? That's right. Now, I addressed all of yours, and y'all said y'all knew nothing about it. Okay? What has been done? Please tell me, because when I come up here, I say, I've done a grand opening in this business, I talked to this person in this business, and then she's going to tell me I don't belong to Hempstead Chamber of Commerce anymore and take my position. I'm only a part of a committee and a task force. Is that? Should that be true? Should that be true? Okay, you give me a pay because I'm doing your job. Okay? She's supposed to vote me down, and it's a boy. Please tell me about it, because I would like some answers. And I haven't gotten answers. And like I said, I came to all of you. And when she sat there like she didn't know who the heck I was. Okay? What are the answers? Please tell me, because I want my businesses in this community to stay here.
Ms. Schubert, can I respond to Sylvia? 2 weeks ago, we met with you and I was there along with the Chamber of Commerce.
No, you met with me with a Aquila Bailey and her girlfriend sitting right next to her.
When you were talking, I listened. I didn't say a word. Okay? I met with you, we met with you, and we came to an agreement as to who was responsible for what. And we asked, and I also asked, was that agreeable? And you said, yes, we can go forward from here. Did you not?
Okay, you asked me, was that agreeable? But did you ask me, wait a minute, did you ask me, or did you tell me when you was having this meeting, it was not a board meeting, and if I needed somebody to represent me, I could, instead of you being here with her, and you. Is that true? Is that fair? Please tell me. Because I know there's rights.
I am not here to debate you. I'm just telling you what happened.
And I'm telling you my response.
We can all sing together. I'm not going to bring this in. And I'm telling you what happened. We sat around the table, the four of us, and we discussed this about an hour. And when you guys left there, you was holding the hands and shaking hands.
I wasn't holding no hands, because I'm not going to hold some hands with somebody. That's what tell me I need a broad. You please answer that to me, okay? You answer that and get some answers to me. Because I don't get no answers, the news will have answers. And with this board, I'm not to get, so she'll have me.
Councilman Gary?
The first question that I have has to do with the resolution that you passed on July 3rd to seek outside counsel to represent the village against the town of Hempstead IDA in order to terminate and recapture any funds or benefits regarding the pilot at 59600 Fulton. So I would like to know, have you hired counsel? And if so, how has this resolution been implemented? Has it been implemented? Has legal action been taken? And I would just like a complete review as to what the status with having a lawsuit regarding 59600. That's my first question. Do we want the first answer that?
Is that the sum of your?
I have 3 issues.
Perhaps it'd be good if you mentioned
Or the other one has to do with Dent Green. I want to know if there's any modification to the master developer agreement to exclude Denton Green as a property to be transferred to Renaissance under contract. And the third one is basically a comment regarding your statement regarding the bond issue that was, not the bond issue, but the resolution that was passed for two of them regarding the Kennedy Park and Laurel Avenue. I have a statement to be made about that. So those are the three issues. So first is the resolution regarding the legal action against 590. Well, it's actually against the IDA in terms of having them terminate the 590-600 agreement.
Is that the pilot agreement you're speaking of?
Right, the resolution was to seek outside counsel to represent the village versus against the town IDA in order to get them to terminate and recapture benefits for the pilot for 590-600 Fulton Avenue, where there's like 300 apartments. And I was wondering, have you proceeded with that?
The village attorney is usually responsible for sourcing outside counsel. If that was the resolution passed July 3rd, I'll have her review it and see it's possible that they've already been hired. The village does have outside counsel that they pretty much use frequently, but she's the one that would source.
But would that outside counsel be hired at a village board meeting?
No.
No?
Likely not. We have outside counsel that we use repeatedly for actions.
Right, but at this point, as far as you know, there's no outside counsel.
I don't know if she's reviewed that already.
Mr. Daniels, do you know?
Legal department, to my knowledge, there hasn't. I personally had some discussions with a couple of different groups. It's very difficult to find attorneys that are ready to go up against the IDA, because some of them, so many of them do business with the IDA, would be shooting off their hand or shooting their
So you've been talking to attorneys?
I didn't say I was talking to attorneys. I've looked to see, I'm sorry, I apologize for that. I looked to see what attorneys are out there to do it. I have spoken to village council, but we haven't made any determinations about going forward or moving forward or hiring anybody for that at this point in time.
Okay.
I will tell you that it was brought up in the IDA meeting that I wasn't in attendance, and I think the general, from what I understand that happened at the IDA meetings, that there was a sentiment that I was in discussions with I guess the owners council regarding that pilot agreement. That's just not the case. We both communicated about it and we both laughed. Like, I don't know where anybody got that, but that hasn't happened.
So you haven't discussed this with Mr. Deegan,
About any type of recapture of the pilot there? No, we haven't had any
you haven't had
discussion.
those discussions because they said you had promised.
I know, I heard,
to have that discussion.
literally, I heard the same thing, and I reached out to Mr. Deegan, and we both laughed about it, because no one informed us that we should be talking. So that's all news to both of us at the time.
We have not hired an outside counsel.
Thank you, okay. Now regarding Denton Green, the CDA at the last meeting indicated that they were filing for funding to redevelop Denton Green. And it occurred to me that Denton Green was under contract to be sold to the developer Renaissance. And so I was wondering, has the master developer agreement been modified such that Renaissance has agreed, and you as a board, I mean, I've been here, I haven't seen a resolution. I don't see how you go and redevelop a property that you're under contract to sell to a developer, unless you had a joint resolution by yourselves and the developer to exclude Denton Green from that contract.
There is no contract to sell that green. Not now.
There is a contract.
There is no intention of selling that green.
I didn't ask you your intention.
We don't have a contract to sell Denton Green. That is something that you have come up with, and you have mentioned other places as well. It is a non-issue.
I'm sorry, you are totally incorrect.
I don't believe so.
You are lying about it.
Lying is not a fair word to use. You are not telling the truth all the time, and anybody who disagrees is lying. It's not an acceptable approach to this meeting.
Well, you're telling me you don't know that Denton Green is in the contract?
Denton Green is not going to be sold.
Denton Green is under contract to be sold to the developer by the master developer agreement, which states that all the properties owned by the village are to be sold to the developer, and Denton Green is one of those properties. It is on the list that was issued by the developer itself when they gave you the list of all the properties that were going to be sold under the master development agreement. It is on the list.
It could be on the list.
Don't tell the public it's not on the list.
Excuse me, I am speaking.
It isn't a question whether it's on the list. The statement I make, I stand by. We're not selling anywhere.
Members of the public,
It's
this
okay.
is totally incorrect. That is under contract to be sold. It is in the master developer agreement, and they are under contract to sell it to the developer.
Ms. Garrett,
Okay.
Ms. Garrett, can
Yeah.
your 5 minutes are up. We asked you if you wanted to say everything first, you elected not to. Let me address you for a second. What I'm going to request is that you stand down, okay? Because for the last 5 or 6 years, you have been going through and initiating what basically is propaganda, okay? And you're almost acting as a lobbyist, because I went and I looked into your foundation, okay, that you've created. And I pulled your last 5 tax returns. It is a foundation, a private foundation that you created, where you are the sole contributor to that made No, I pulled your tax return. You are the sole. Then you did not list your other contributors. Okay, so you are the sole contributor to this. You are the sole contributor to this organization. You are a private foundation organized as a 501c3, and you are acting as a lobbyist according to the Internal Revenue Code and according to the New York State Legislature. And you are not registered as a lobbyist. So whether you believe it or not, I suggest you either register or you identify yourself as a lobbyist.
I'm
because
not a
you are
lobbyist.
not.
I am a journalist.
Let me finish.
I am
You are
a
not a
journalist.
journalist. There's no facts in here. Let me give
There
you
are
facts.
facts.
Let me tell you
And I'm
facts.
sorry.
Let you speak. Let me speak. Let me speak, and I'll be quick. Fact number 1, in your latest edition, you stated that I myself, along with this board, reported 5-0 to extend the pilot at Riverly House was an attempt for us to move that building into market rate. Number 1. Wait, hold on. They did not do that. Let me finish. And I'm going to explain it to you, and I'm going to do it really, really slow. Number 1, in 2027, the affordability period for the Riverly House expires. That's a fact. In 2027, the pilot expired. So in other words, in 2027, the taxes would have quadrupled at the property, and there would have been no affordability requirement. So what do you think would have happened? He would have moved everybody out of there and raised the rent. So instead, what we did was extend the pilot an additional 5 years and said, if you move 20% of this building out, that 20% that you move out, those units will be taxed at full bear. Essentially what we did was extend the affordability period, not limit the affordability. But what you say in your document is 100% false. Because it's propaganda. It is propaganda. It is propaganda. It is lobbying. And you better be careful because you're in violation of the law and you're running a very, very tight line.
You gave them permission to convert.
We never
to
gave
market
permission.
rate.
We never gave permission to something that we couldn't give permission to something that we already had.
Well,
In 2027, it expires.
To read the documents.
Read your tax
Because
return.
first you have
Read
the
your tax
mayor
return.
claiming that Denton Green is not on the list, when I have the list.
I'm not
and it
talking to you about
includes
Denton
this
Green. I'm talking to you about your propaganda and your efforts to involve
And as far as this is concerned.
I believe we've got as far as we
I'm
can.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Your purpose is trying to cause decisiveness within this community. You have your own agenda, and you're acting as a lobbyist.
Your time is up.
You're acting as a lobbyist.
Your time is up, please.
You're acting as a lobbyist.
Ms. Gary, your time is up.
Those are facts.
Thank you for your contribution.
Those are facts.
David Hanson, please.
Facts. You better watch your tax return.
If you could yield the mic, please. Now, we've got as far as we can on this issue.
I'm sorry.
Your purpose is trying to cause decisiveness within this community. You have your own agenda.
Gary, you are going to time limit, please. Your time is up.
You're acting as a lobbyist.
Your time is up, please.
You're acting as a lobbyist.
Mr. Gary, your time is up. Thank you for your contribution. David Hanson, please.
Facts. You better watch your tax return.
It's the first time I've been to meetings since God took office.
Thank you.
There's a long list I have here. Hempstead. There's a lot of safety issues. that needs address. I do OSHA standards to the Port Authority, many years, worked here for 25 years. And a lot of things here in this village is mind-boggling. When I drive on Hempstead Boulevard, it's those rusted guardrails and those interior brick at Main Street. I used to tell Wayne Hall that they need to be addressed. There's a lot of money that floating around here, and this village actually, like what Joe Biden said about LaGuardia Airport over here. He said it was like a third world country. Well, this village is like a third world country. And this is the heart of Long Island. It was formed, I think, in 1643, and the town in 1644. So we need something to beautify this village. That knuckle shop walking out with those meters, that should be gone. That's a waste of money, somebody opening up meters and going around. We could save on tax revenue that way. So we need to get rid of all those meters, and we need to put 4 meters in there. They use a card and pays, and that would save. My tax is $12,000 in this village. And I want to pass a law in this village. I got Hurley Hooper to close every single bar at Astro. I'm going after Astro. I have her close every bar at Astro. She closed that. And I want a law to pass in this village of Hempstead that said, any building that's sick, or any home that's sick, that, squatters get involved in. We're going to pass a law that we're going to take those buildings from the bank, give them 90 days, or from the person who owned it. There is no building going to sit unattended in this village. It's not safe for the resident, and we want result now. Mr. Daniels, I put 10 calls into you since last week on your voicemail. You never return a call. 10 calls to your phone. I call the reception.
Which number?
Dave Hanson to your number. I call the reception and they transfer me to you.
To me?
Yes, sir. They transfer it to your phone here. You're a trustee, right? You're a trustee, correct? What is your job as a trustee in the village of Hempstead? Can you answer that question? What is your purpose here? Yes.
What is my purpose here? To represent the residents?
Yeah, so we pay taxes to pay you. So if we have a safety issue and we call any trustees, we give you 24 hours to get back. There's some conflict of interest going on with you. I get complained, you're new, and you're not seasoned yet. So I'm telling you, you better watch it. I'm telling you, because I'm going to bring a book here about conflict of interest that I read in the Port Authority. And everyone should have that, because there's a lot of conflict of interest going on here in the village of Hempstead. There's a lot of fraud. I came in and asked for a list of village-owned property from Samantha years ago, and I paid for it. Okay? I asked, if I want to buy this property, how do I do it? They bring me to the back, they say, call this agency. They can't do that. That's fraud. There's so much fraud going on, and that's why my neighbors are losing the house for taxes. The other day, a house burned on my block at Courtney Road. And when you look, you got cars from all over the place, blocked up my block. These guys are pushing my neighbors to get the contract. He doesn't have to run them up, call the police department, and he goes to Nassau County, and the lady hang up on me. That's why now we have a lawsuit that we have to pay when they call 911 and they didn't respond. We, the taxpayer, pay. They do bonds to pay those. We're tired of paying these big salaries. We're thinking about merging Hempstead Police with Nassau County and take the pressure off Hempstead. Because the county have more money and our taxes will go down. Hospital don't pay taxes. Why are all these people getting these tax breaks? Listen, my list is so long. When I submit this to the mayor, you're going to work day and night. Believe me, I'm going to give honesty for 30 days to clean up your house. I'm locked up off of this building. Believe me. But I'm going to give 30, I got 5 sons here, bro. 5 sons. And I'm telling you, there's no time to play. I'm 52. My oldest is 31. The youngest is 15. My son Jada Nancy's #1 in triple jump for Union Daylight School. I'm one person. Yes, he's an amazing kid. And we must clean up those illegal homes from hospital, they're all going to be gone. There's a law passed on the Swaziland legislation that says any house deemed to be commercial, they should be shut and the taxes should go up 30%. I want to see the village department start to do their job. They go to my house and give me ticket illegally. I pay them.
Okay, we thank you.
But there's a long list coming.
You have a lot to say. I
Every-
would comment if I could, Mr. Hanson.
Yes.
The fire on your block.
Yes.
I did go there.
Yes.
And I will agree with you.
Yes.
The contractors were very
Oh,
aggressive,
man.
trying to get the job.
It was terrible there.
Obviously difficult for the people.
Yes.
They have a 13-year-old girl,
Mhm.
they have a 6-year-old boy,
Mhm.
and they got wiped out with school opening, and that was being made by this board
Yeah.
and others, to see if we can't bring them up to speed so they can be comfortable and enjoy this.
I want your police department to be more effective.
Yeah.
I want them to do their job better. I locked down Terrace Avenue about 7 years ago and give them hopes. I spend over $6,000 in my pocket to feed them. I get them to get that park. But I want to see Hempstead be just like Garden City. I have a meeting with the mayor last week, and that process has begun.
Okay, thank
You know, I'm
sir.
back. I'm going to clean up Hempstead.
Okay, Ms. Rhines?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, good evening, trustees, it's so late.
Well, in regards to Kennedy Park, it's underutilized. We know why it's underutilized, because the park is not the greatest, it's not well kept. And so my concern is that we go to different places, like Echo Park, because the services are different. So we,
referring to the pool?
the pool itself.
Okay.
And if we had a nicer locker room, it would be an environment, a safer environment. It's nice to have different things, like it's nice to have that little splash thing, but what happened to the skate park? There was money given by the Deputy Speaker of the House.
I answered that earlier, but I'll repeat it if you'd like.
Okay, no, I don't repeat it, if you already answered.
No, let me answer.
Okay, go ahead, answer it.
All right, the money that the deputy speaker got, we appreciate. We have to spend it to get it, and we're in that mode presently. The money is still in Albany.
Okay.
The hours have to be spent.
Okay.
Appreciate what she did.
Okay, let's spend it, because our kids need a skate park. You have a lot of kids that ride
We're
skate
on the
parks.
same page.
Okay, and then, in regards to, when we write a contract, I know how to write a good contract. When these, cell companies merge, let's suspend their contract and renegotiate it. You can do that. Put a clause in there. If you merge with someone, let's renegotiate the contract. Don't let them get away with that. T-Mobile, all of them, they have a contract in there. Let's say, okay, when you merge with someone, we're going to renegotiate. That's like with your car note or your homeowner's contract. When you change something, let's say, you know what, in Hempstead, we're not going to let you do that anymore. You can say to them, you know what, you merge with someone, that's breaking your original contract. Don't say, oh, well, we're going to give you 3 years and that's it. No, don't let them do that, because they can get away with a lot of money here in Hempstead. We're not going to let them do that anymore. In regards to, I'm still on that forensic audit. I haven't gotten an answer in regards to that. People are taking over their vacation time to the next year. How is that affecting the taxpayer? We talked about the police department. I love our police department, and I've had a very good relationship with our police department. But in general, how is this affecting the taxpayer at the bottom line? And I respect what Trustee Daniels is saying. Let's look at the bottom line here. How is it affecting the community? Let's look at the bottom line. Now, people are carrying over their vacation time. At the end, how is it affecting us, the taxpayer? And in addition to that, now, we have a double trustee on the board. We have the president of the school board here, Trustee Johnson. We have overcrowding. Now, are we working with the school district in dealing with overcrowding? So now, the school district gets a report. Apartment number 5 at 600 Fulton. Number 6F has 5 kids that live has that address. We know that the fire department has the right to go in and say, that's not a safe situation. How can 5 kids live in a 1-bedroom apartment? That's not safe. It's impossible that 5 kids can live in a 1-bedroom apartment. We need to work with the school district and say, let's look into this. A house that's a 3-bedroom house that has 6 or 7 kids coming from that address, we know that the fire department has every right. They don't have to get a subpoena to go into that home. We need to be doing something about this. It's a burden on the taxpayer. It's a burden on the school district. It's a hazard. If that house catches on fire, I lived on Carolina Avenue. I watched the family dig out the basement to make room for an additional family. This doesn't happen in any other area, and it shouldn't happen here in Hempstead. Our fire department should be vigilant, and our village should be vigilant to work with our school district. Let's do something about this. And let's do something about helping our community do better. Because we are held accountable for what we leave behind for our children. I want Hempstead to be here when my grandchildren are born. It's time out to do what's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Patricia Moore.